Hello, welcome to this short sitting at your desk stretch class. This will just be a brief practice. You don't even have to stand up to do it. If you just need a quick refresh in the middle of your day if you've been sitting at your desk for a while. So staying in your desk chair, go ahead and sit nice and tall here. And we'll just start with a little neck stretch. So try to keep your shoulders back, keep your spine erect, and then just lower your chin to your chest. And then lean your head over to the right so that your right ear is stacked over your right shoulder. Good. And you'll lift your right arm up and place your right hand over the left side of your head. And then without pushing or bouncing or anything, just let the weight of your hand guide your right ear closer to your right shoulder. You can stay here. To make it a little more intense, reach your left arm out to the side, like you're trying really hard to reach to the floor. Sometimes if you move your left arm kind of forwards and back in space a little bit, you can change the stretch just a bit. See what feels good. And bring your hands back to your thighs. Lift your head upright. Lower your chin back to your chest. And then lean your head to the left. And then you'll take your left arm and place your left hand over the right side of your face. Again, without pushing or putting any pressure there, just let the weight of your hand be enough to drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Feel free to stay here or reach your right arm out to the side, like you're trying to touch the floor. Maybe play around a little bit with moving your arm forwards and back in space. And bring your hands back to your knees. Lift your head upright. Now interlace your hands in front of your chest and then start to push your palms forwards away from your chest as you get your arms as straight as you can. Try to keep your shoulder blades on your back here and then just push out through your palms. And then slowly start to lift your arms about halfway up. Feel your outer upper arms spinning away from each other so you're externally rotating at the level of the shoulder. And then just notice if your ribs are trying to come along for the party. See if you need to knit your rib cage in and back. So this is a pretty pure shoulder movement. You might stay here. You might lift your arms higher. They could stay a little in front of your face. You might even be able to frame your ears with your upper arms. But keep on lifting your back ribs up and softening your front ribs in and down. And then slowly arc the arms forwards. And we're just going to bend the elbows, switch the interlacing of your hands so the other thumb is on top. This time, push your palms away from you again. And then slowly take your arms about halfway-ish up. Externally rotate your outer upper arms. Knit your rib cage slightly in and back. And then maybe go a little higher, maybe not. It's okay if your shoulders are lifting up towards your ears. That's normal when you lift your arms overhead. Just notice if your ribs are kind of splaying open. Keep on softly engaging your upper abdominals to keep that in place. And then you're going to slowly arc the arms down and forwards and then let them go. Now, take your left hand to your right knee or thigh, and then go ahead and take your right hand and just grab kind of the top of your chair seat over on the side. And then as you inhale, you're going to lift your chest up. Now, take your hand, left hand, and take the back of your hand or your wrist against your outer thigh and try to keep your thigh in place. With your inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, use the leverage of your right arm and your left wrist to turn your chest to the right. And you might find your right sitting bone naturally drifts back a little bit. Maybe let that happen, see how it feels. So inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, send your left shoulder blade into your left chest and roll your right upper arm and chest back. Maybe look back. One more time. Inhale, get taller. Exhale, turn to the right. And then first, just move your gaze forwards again and then unwind. Start with your sitting bones even on one line. And then start by holding onto your outer left thigh or knee with your right hand. Take your left hand and grab the top of the chair on the side here. And then flip your right hand over so that it's the back of your hand or wrist pushing against your outer leg. Resist that pressure with your left thigh. Inhale, get a little taller. And then as you exhale, press your right shoulder blade into the right side of your chest and roll your left chest back. Again, if your left sitting bone feels like it's naturally drifting back, you might explore that. Just let that happen. See how it feels. Inhale, rock forwards on your sitting bones. Exhale, turn your chest to the left. And then just move your gaze forwards first, then make your way out of the twist. All right, now if you do have a chair with handles on it, you might want to sit forwards a little bit to do this one. I want you to bring your right leg up, and then feel free to use your hands here, maybe not, make it fancy. Hook your right ankle over your left thigh in a figure four. And if you can, try to line this up so that the sole of your foot is pretty much flush with the outseam of your thigh, and your right foot is flexed. And this could absolutely be enough. If you're feeling a big release in your outer right hip, you're gonna stay right here. Otherwise, I like to do this holding my foot in my knee. Lead with your chest and maybe start to fold forwards over your shin. And just notice if you have a tendency to kind of turtle in here, see if you can keep your spine pretty neutral so you isolate the stretch in the hip. And start to lift yourself back up. Unhook your ankle, place that foot down, and second side. Hook your left ankle over your right thigh in a four. Keep your foot flexed and line up the sole of your foot with the outseam of your thigh. Maybe you stay upright. This side might feel quite different. Maybe you start to reach your chest forwards. Again, try to keep your spine pretty neutral. Option to hold on to your knee and your foot. And with your next inhale, lift all the way up. Now, one more thing here. Place your feet flat on the ground, sides of the feet about parallel. And then this will kind of depend on what kind of chair you have, but try to hold on to the back of your chair either on the sides, or you might be able to even turn your hands over so your fingers face down and maybe even grip the back of the chair. All right, so just kind of find what works for you and for your shoulders at this moment. And then hug your elbows together like you want them to touch behind your upper back and find a little back bend. Lift your chest, squeeze the bottom tips of your shoulder blades together. Maybe look up. If you are going to lean the head back, keep your gaze down at your cheeks. And just take one more breath here, just opening up across the pecs. And then come back to neutral. Thank you so much for joining me for this short chair yoga session. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.